Welcome to the Good Talk, our recap and Q&A show where we go over the game we just played and answer your questions. And this was a very, very special game because it was the finals of the Tabletop Titans Tournament 2, the TTTTT. It is over. It has been an exhausting 2 weeks.
We made it.
Filled with incredible games. Just some of the best games in channel history.
Really
right?
Stressful, close, nail-biter, all the way to the end. Every dice roll mattered.
Yes. Most of our games ended within just a single point or a few points. Almost every game came down to just a single dice roll.
Yeah.
Several of our games, we thought one player had won, and then it turned out the other player had won.
Yeah.
I think that happened twice.
It's my defeatist attitude, right?
One of the games ended in an unbelievable tie.
A mega tie.
Which we then tried to roll off to resolve. The roll-off was a tie. We tried to roll off to resolve that. Also a tie.
The mega tie.
Yeah.
The ultimate tie.
Almost every underdog won every match, breaking all the brackets, giving you a new title, Breaker of Brackets. And you did not fully break all the brackets. If you had lost today, you would have broken every bracket.
I left one
Only
alive.
one bracket stands. True Sherlock. What a great guess.
We should send True Sherlock some dice.
No, we will. True Sherlock, I think what you need to do is you need to message Bridger or Adrian, in Discord, and give us your shipping information. We'll send you some fun swag. Yeah. What an amazing what an amazing tournament.
I couldn't have done it without True Sherlock.
No,
somebody had to believe in me.
Somebody had to believe.
Because 90% of the time I did not believe.
No, you didn't. Absolutely not. He gave himself roughly a 0% win chance in almost all of his games.
In many of my games, I was not favored.
But the Custodes won it in the end, and what a showing for them. You've been a believer in this army for a while now, but now that you've got a lot of practice with it, obviously it's great, right?
It's a fierce competitor. It's just a very... It plays along a different axis than most armies.
Sure.
It won't play your game. Like, I was kind of talking to John about this the other day, where its matchup with Drukhari and Admech are only decent. Like, our stat lines are way worse, our point efficiencies are worse, our auras, all of our rules, everything across the board worse. The only reason we have a chance in that matchup is Admech and Drukhari are playing this MSU game where they're like eking out efficiencies. And they're designed, all their units are designed to perfectly kill with maximum efficiency.
Yeah, just kill with no more.
Just barely kill stuff that's not as durable as Custodes. Especially with all my strats.
Not even close, right? Because the high toughness you have is not common in the meta.
Yeah.
Your ability to -1 strength means your toughness is much higher than it looks. Mm-hmm. And your -1 damage means that any of the efficiency they're getting from 2 damage throughout the game is just going away.
So it's like, it's playing this lateral game of like, okay, you have 100 more units than me. I don't care. I'm always outnumbered, but you're going to have to trade many units, and I'm still going to take back the point every turn. Yeah. Because you're going to struggle to get me off that point.
And what happens is, your Dreadnoughts, let's say, get charged, they flame, they fight, they live, the opponent dies, then next turn you flame, you fight again. You're just getting full effectiveness out of these models for way too long. And they do eventually die, of course, but it doesn't matter. They're actually fairly cheap.
They're designed to die.
Right.
They're cheap. Yeah, they're cheap.
But people have to put so much into them.
So much. And that's what I love about the list. I think, hopefully after this, more people will start playing this list. I'm not going to say it's an easy list to play.
Sure.
Very stressful.
It goes against your instincts, and you do need to roll some 4-ups sometimes. The thing is...
just a few.
Yeah. Not many people have that much tank killing.
Right.
But if they have the tank killing and you roll badly, it can call fall apart.
You just lose, yeah.
Now, that didn't happen in any of your games.
No.
Right? The Drukhari have lots of tank killing. Mm-hmm. Didn't work. Mm-hmm. I, right now, have the most in any army in the tournament.
Preposterous amounts of tank killing.
Didn't work.
Didn't work.
I was playing the Admech, and I had lots of super strong las cannons. Didn't work. So, you rolled well through the tournament with them, but, it's a 4-up. Mm-hmm. And it
happens.
And you're reducing my wounds normally, and you have a command point to reroll a bad one here and there.
And feel no pains. There's just so many layers.
And they have 9 wounds, right?
You need to be tailoring against vehicles to really efficiently and quickly kill Custodes.
And most people are not tailoring against vehicles for good reason, because they've got to deal with Admech.
Lose all their other games.
Yeah, they need to deal with Admech and Drukhari and all those other things. So. This is the same reason that the Ultramarine Dreadnought list is good.
Yes.
Because they're high toughness, they shoot and fight, -1 damage. They get
repaired every turn?
Yeah, that army is on a different axis because Their dreadnoughts are not quite as durable. They don't have the 2-up saves, and they don't have the -1 strength.
And they don't have a 4-up in them, they have a 5-up.
Yeah, exactly, which isn't always there even. And so they're not quite as durable, but they're more offensive, especially early in the game.
Yeah, and repairing is not trivial.
Yeah.
They repair a lot.
Yeah, and you have greater efficiency because you have flamers everywhere, so you're not even rolling to hit. So you're just kind of cutting out a whole layer of dice rolls. And it's fantastic. I'm really loving this army. All the armies we played, though, are top-tier competitive armies, and you'll see them in tournaments. You'll have to deal with them. We didn't play, funny enough, not related to the tournament, though. We have, in the studio, what we believe is an even stronger list.
Yeah.
Something that would have won probably this tournament handily.
Yeah.
Custodes would have been funny enough.
They're bad matchup.
They're only somewhat bad matchup.
Yeah.
I think it still would have been a fine matchup, though. And this army is actually the Orcs. We didn't put the Orcs in, but the Orcs, we think, probably looking like the strongest faction.
Well, we played an Orc list that wasn't the list you're describing.
Yeah, it's a different Orc list, yeah. It's much more oppressive. It's not very interesting to watch, but it is stronger. Yeah. All right, well, amazing. Why don't we get into the questions?
Yeah, let's do it. We have a few to get through here, so just pop down. Here we go. Thank you, Orc Zach. Good walk. Oh, I think we already did this one. Thank you, Ape of Justice. Hi, Titans. So exciting to see how the T5 finals turn out.
Yeah.
I just got home from my first RTT.
Ooh, nice.
You guys have inspired me to go to. Went 2-1 with Craft World Eldar. Good luck.
Very nice. That's great. I'm glad that you're getting out to events. Events are definitely a very different way to play the game, and it sometimes takes a few events to get the feel for it, but they can be really fun and exciting.
How do you think John's doing today at his event?
What is he bringing? The Grey Knights or the Drukhari?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. I think he wants to play Grey Knights.
He's practicing the Drukhari because of our team tournament next week, I think. And so he's practicing his new Drukhari list. I think he's probably doing great. You know, John's one of the best players in Northern California. So
when John comes back from like a small RTT and doesn't take first place, he says that. He's like, I didn't get first place.
Yeah, he feels strange.
Yeah, he feels
second place is just the first place loser to him.
And he's not really like that. He's
not a super
nice
competitive,
guy.
but he knows he's bringing what arguably is the strongest list to most of these events, and so it's almost always his event to lose.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
He has the strongest list, and he's often the strongest player.
Right.
Yeah. Thank you, Nicholas. Gentlemen, James has selected you to change one core rule in the game. What would you alter and why? One core rule. I actually think 9th Ed core rules, I mostly feel like are good. It's a lot of the codexes that have made some ire, created some ire.
I do like the core rules of 9th, but I'm sure there's something we could fix.
Is Bodyguard rule a core rule of 9th?
No, it's on a data sheet.
Yeah. The same with like anything with snipers is that doesn't none of that would.
Because I want to see snipers be allowed to shoot people with Bodyguard rule.
I mean, the closest thing to a core rule would be something to do with a mission, right?
Oh, yeah, okay. So
secondaries.
I think some playstyles really struggle. Like the secondaries force a playstyle right now, which is MSU. You have action monkeys. You're going to trade on objectives all the time, which kind of pushes to the fringes a lot of playstyles that I would enjoy playing. Things like knights, more elite armies.
Sure.
Really struggle. Even just like a shooting specialized army struggles because combat is so prevalent because you have to fight them off an objective. When you kill them, you have to be on that point to get your points. So I would want to see secondaries that allow for more diverse playstyles.
Yeah, I think we were all like a little shocked, a little disappointed when Chapter Approved came out and no secondary. There were no new ones. Nothing had.
There were new ones, but they were basically changes to existing ones. And
a lot of the secondary around the secondaries, even Codex ones are.
The missions, I think I should specify the missions are good.
They're good.
They're better than any other Games Workshop missions in the history of Games Workshop, I think. But there's room for improvement.
Yeah.
Right? Like most of the secondaries never get picked.
Yes.
Ever.
Yes.
And in channel history, there's at least probably 4 secondaries we've never done once.
Well, they got rid of one of them. We took it so infrequently that James got rid of Cut Off the Head.
Yeah, yeah.
That's why.
So I think they need to balance those a little more. Like things like Stranglehold are just too obvious.
Yeah.
And
It used to be.
Kind of tough.
I think what it used to be was better. It used to be you have to hold more than half the objectives on the table.
Which was hard to do.
But
in some missions.
On some missions, it was easy to do.
Yes.
And that made it more of a consideration.
Yeah.
Rather
now
than
it's just
an
more than your opponent, which is very easy to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to hold at least half more than your opponent.
So I changed, secondaries. This is kind of a cop-out because we're saying to change many secondaries. But, I would definitely change the secondary.
What about would you guys introduce like any kind of element where model count changes? And this almost would also be data sheets, but like in AOS, monsters by default count is 5.
That's more of a data sheet issue where, Custodes have OBSEC on most models, but they probably need like count as 2, because their model count's just so low.
Yeah, would you just count vehicles with 10 or more wounds as 5?
No.
Or monsters? Or
Probably not.
Probably not. Vehicles already have other...
Knights need something like that.
But
they should
all
just
vehicles?
Knights should just have a rule to count as 5 or 10 or something.
You know what would be cool? If a transport counted all the models inside of it.
No. That would be busted. Do not make Drukhari stronger.
Raiders, 200 points. Then add my rule.
Okay. The one thing we're changing, Raiders 200 points.
But then also transports count all the models.
No, don't do that. That's bad.
Thank you, Bryce. Hey, Titans, I just recently got into 40K this spring.
Welcome.
As Custodes and AdMech, as a soupless, since Call can heal a Telemon.
That's true.
With them are Sags, Venatari, Galatis, Captain on Bike, Skitari, Troops, and Elites.
Fun.
Huh.
Yeah, the thing I love about collecting Imperium is that you can just collect, a small patrol of AdMech if you like it, or a small patrol of these Space Marines or Guard, or, and you can start bringing those armies. Custodes and AdMech, Custodes don't suffer too much, or they don't suffer at all from souping.
Use Shadowkeepers. Use Shield Host.
You
I think
can't
your whole
be
army
a
has
shield
to
host?
be. Yeah, I think your whole army has to be Custodes.
Yeah.
I could be wrong on that.
That could be wrong. I'm not sure. But the AdMech lose a little bit. It's they get hurt more. But it's cool that you can do that, and that's a lot of fun. Welcome to the hobby.
Yeah, definitely, and thank you, Dungeon Master. Evening Titans. So I love me some smelly Chaos Boys, and this is the blessed 7th game of the T5. But if the last 2 weeks have taught us anything, it's that if you bet against Bridger and his Golden Boys, you're bound to be sad.
Accurate. Yeah.
Yeah. Even if the armies are advantaged against me, that means the odds are even more in my favor.
Yeah, that's right.
That's when
you basically flip the odds.
Right. You go to the betting terminal.
Yeah, the terminal.
And you put your money in and you say, I want all of the Bridger.
Yeah.
So what's the matchup you don't want then right now? Craft World Eldar.
I would lose to Craft
You're going to lose to Craft
I
World
would
Eldar.
actually lose.
We need a matchup where you have like a 99% chance to win, then you'll lose it.
Guard. I don't think I could possibly lose to Guard.
There we go.
I don't think there's anything Guard could do to beat this list.
No, full payload Mantacores. It's the solution to every problem.
Thank you, Marcos. Is it possible to briefly explain how you deployed and why before you start a battle? Deployment is a big part of the game, and I would love to hear your insights. Sometimes you guys do this a little bit, but it is compelling, right, to know a little bit.
Yeah, I would say most tournament games I play, let's say if you've got a 6-round tournament, 4 out of the 6 games are determined during deployment. Mm-hmm. So I could tell you...
Does that even preclude like matchup? What about like...
No, I mean, by the time the armies are deployed, I know...
So that could include partially the matchup.
Yeah. I know the final score almost to the point out of 4 of those 6 games. And so deployment is almost everything, almost all the time. And so there's a thing you always need to do, is you need to figure out if by default you're winning or losing in a game. So you can add up the points. Here's my secondaries, here's their secondaries, and here's the things, here's how many turns I could do mine, here's how many points I'm gonna get. And then you find out, okay, as of right now, all things are equal, he's ahead by 3. What do I have to do to take down to stop him from getting 3? Oh, well, I need to like take a banner, 2 banners down or something. Okay, or I need to prevent him from putting them up turn 1. I'll deploy aggressively with these scouts so that I have a chance if I go first to stop his banner, and if I go second, I lose these scouts. But like, I'm taking a risk because I'm default out, right? And so you know where the risks are that you need to take, and so that's one thing. The other thing is, of course, shooting, right? So you look, what can they shoot? What do I need to hide? Great. The next thing you look at is charging. Some armies are really fast. They'll charge you turn 1. Drukhari can do it. AdMech can do it. What do I need to screen? you need to look at, let's say I'm strangleholding, what objectives do I need to be on turn 1? Am I close enough that like a 2-inch advance will get me onto those points? Even a 1-inch advance will get me onto those points with the key thing I need. And then, do they have indirect? Can I be towed in cover?
Yep.
And then if you have slow units, you need to see where do they need to be on turn 2 or 3? Where will I stage them? And all of those things are really crucial, and it can get more complicated if your opponent has redeployability or if you have redeployability. And then you need to consider where are they baiting me, where am I supposed to move? And one of the most common tricks in deployment is you start by putting down all your least important units first. You save all of your difficult decisions till the very end so that hopefully your opponent has committed, like I've committed my really strong shooting to this side. Great. My things that really, really don't want to be shot to this side. Or I've put my super fast advance and charge here. Great. The thing that doesn't want to be charged over here. And so you're trying to buy time to make smart decisions.
For a show, how do we deploy?
Well, I mean, the way that we deploy is actually the way that I often deploy. I will goldfish deploy. I generally don't care what my opponent's doing. And I know, like you mentioned...
Well, you play armies that don't care. But
I play armies that don't care, but like... Very often, I will have fewer units than my opponent, and so if they're not stupid, they get the information before I do anyway. So like, I have to put my important unit, my last decision is still halfway through their nonsense decisions. So I give away all the information. So I will very often goldfish deploy, where I'm saying like, okay, here's where I start the game. I plan to be here turn 2. If I go first, I want these units in these places. If I go second, I want these units in these places. And then turn 3, I'll go all the way to turn 3. It's like turn 2, I'm going to go here. Turn 3, I'm going to go there.
Yeah.
And I have a plan. And from there, the game's mostly decided. By the end of turn 3, the game is kind of going to run its course.
Unless you're playing the TTTTT.
Unless,
in which case,
you have our crazy
the last
turns.
dice roll of the last turn.
But like all the decisions after that are kind of mostly obvious, or like the situation you're in, maybe you'll have to lateral, but by turn 4 and 5, the decisions are kind of, there's very few units on the board. You don't have many options. It's just like, do the thing. Go to the place,
clear.
do the thing. So planning out your turns 2 and 3 goes a long way. Don't hard commit to those plans. If your opponent messes with your plan, you have to react. You can't just say, well, my plan turn 3 was to go to this place. Like you have to actually start thinking. 2 and 3 are the turns where you think.
Yep.
But that's how I play.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Daminant. Adrian's not here anymore, Daminant, but he says, Adrian, you should have just started coaching John's opponent. Also, Adrian, he was talking about when he saw John at the event. Here's how you want to beat this guy. Also, Adrian, which Bridger are you rooting for? Well, he's not here, but what?
I think he was definitely rooting for the Custodes. Everyone, even me, we were all rooting for the Custodes to go all the way. The Death Guard winning would have been still cool, but it's way cooler that the Custodes won. Yeah. I mean, I tried to shoot. But the Island Dice kicked in.
Island
Dice.
And it just didn't work.
It's a thing. It's a real thing. Thank you, Famous Oaks. Got a GT tomorrow with Tao. Wish me luck. Also, decide to buy a single Dawn Eagle bike to convert into a Gene Stealer caught Wolf Quad with wheels. Thoughts, Bridger?
I mean, I don't condone the use of Custodes models for anything other than making Custodes. I've made that well known.
What was the thing? Who used a Vexilla for something? Adrian used it in a Chaos or something?
Hugh used it for his Death Guard. And to this day, don't talk to him about that.
Yeah, and John was saying he'll put Custodes on the prow of his boats. Yeah, Bridger just does not like to see
I'm a stickler
the symbolism
I hate
of the Custodes used. So more the reason to do it, because you'll really get under his skin. And
certainly the Gene Stealer cult aren't going to get one of our precious relic jet bikes.
Listen,
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure.
And then they put wheels on it.
They get it when it's parked. Like it's parked, and they like run up and they're like, ah.
They take a magical relic jet bike and they put wheels on it and drive it around.
Yeah, they're like little cave people that live under the earth. What do you want from them? Well, good luck with your tournament.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I played the Tau. I really want to.
Me too.
I really want to get a game in with them.
I don't think I've played him this calendar year.
No way.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Thank you, T. Crayford. Bridger, how do you feel about Four Gladys instead of that Telemon?
How do you feel about Four Gladys?
Well, so if I had Four Gladys, the bike captain becomes my third instead of the Telemon. The bike captain becomes my third to the last.
Yeah, it is.
and
That's not as good.
it's not
Although
as good,
he's invincible.
but if I play him not as a missile,
He's more fun as a missile, though.
pretty durable. He is really fun as a distraction card effects. He just goes in
But
and
if
messes with
we're at 4, why don't we just go to 6? Because if you dropped a Telemon, you would get 2 Galatis for a Telemon. Now we're at 6.
We're running out of command points, though, Brian. Every one of these Galatis needs Eternal Penitent, and that's 1 CP per Dreadnought. The Telemon downgrade, we're going even. We're breaking even.
Yeah.
1 CP for 1 CP. But
So
when the
maybe just
Telemon
have
becomes 2,
one of them without it. Or, okay, give Eternal Penitent. You start with 6 CP. Mm-hmm. Give Eternal Penitent to 1. Mm-hmm. And then give Victor of the Blood Games to both your characters. And now just start with 0. Huh? It's galaxy brain thinking right there. Now you don't even have to worry about CP. And listen, you start turn 1 with 1 CP, which is enough to Shadow Keepers. And you're good.
in so much pain right now. I can't even.
I've accidentally several times made lists that broke the rule of 3. Where I'm like, this is cool. And then like I'm putting it on the table and I'm like, oh, this is illegal.
4 Riptides.
No, I do own 4 Riptides, but no, I didn't do that.
Crazy idea. Units of Galatis Dreadnoughts.
Why not?
Like you could have a squadron of 3.
You would do it.
I would totally do it. That would be so good.
Yeah.
Thank
Let's
you.
make it so.
Thank you, Ben. Happy TTTTT final. I'm rooting for either of Bridger's armies. The non-oil the house idea led me down a rabbit hole. To estimate it would take 2,273 bottles of non-oil to cover a 1,500 square foot home.
That doesn't even sound like that many.
That's a lot of money, bro.
It is about, they're about $7 a bottle, so this is $78.
I'm sure you could get a bulk discount somewhere.
So this is, okay.
I don't know about that.
But probably,
like 15 grand.
Probably minimum 15 grand. But
like if you're buying that many, it's probably worthwhile to start your own game store
and
then get them at wholesale.
And then
I'll bet you could
liquidate the
reverse
rest of your
And
engineer.
then liquidate the rest of your holdings.
At that scale, you could reverse engineer the recipe for non-oil
No.
and
you can't.
produce it for cheaper.
No, you can't. You can't. It's invincible.
It would be a lot cheaper.
there's a lot of YouTube videos where people try to do that and they come up with awesome stuff, but it's never quite
Well,
there.
And
Zach-
it doesn't have the non-oil branding. Like
Zach,
if you're
we
going
have
to do this,
$15,000 to play with here. We're going to a lab, a professional. We're going to go to Sherwin-Williams and say,
Sure.
no, you know what you do? You
Match
play the
this.
long game. You get a job at the factory.
That's better.
For like 10 years, you get trusted with the recipe, and then you're like, ha, and you quit, and then you just make it at home.
if you
paint your
try to take non-oil into Sherwin-Williams, they're going to be like, they're going to like turn you away. They're like, can't help you. Get out. Get out.
They board up
We
the
don't want
doors.
anything to do with that. Thank you, the Ultimate Life Form. What makes Bridger such a good Custodes player?
I know what it is.
Is it his experience?
No.
Game knowledge?
No.
I dare say it's his uncanny ability to just roll what he needs to.
Yes.
yes.
It's Bridger's ABC mentality of like, don't think about it, just do it.
do it.
You know what? He doesn't think about the rolls, he just rolls them. He doesn't think about whether he could get shot, he just stands there. He doesn't think about whether he's gonna kill anything in the charge, he just charges. And it all just works out.
Never learn any lessons.
Right, no lessons were learned. So Bridger's just like ambivalent,
Yeah.
like ABC.
YOLO.
Yeah, that's the Custodes way. You just have to trust in your superior creation and technology,
Yep.
and just like never even respect your opponent even a little
Not
bit.
even a little bit. You go
Don't
into the
even-
game knowing, oh, my army's just better.
Yeah,
I just
I'm
win.
the Custodes.
Like, I guess I'll spend 3 hours with you, but
Yeah.
we know how this is going to go.
Exactly. Yeah.
Thank you, Mike Percival. Starting a comp league next week as Templars.
Super cool.
Company vets, 5 Thunderhammer Storm Shield buffed with Fire of Devotion for
Yep.
anti-tank. Yay or nay?
Yeah, it'll get them. Absolutely. Now the company veterans that's without the jetpacks?
Correct.
So you got some
believe
sort of
so.
transport, I imagine. So
Check. They might just be Vanguard vets with 1 less attack? Company vets are super cheap. I know that.
no, Vanguard vets don't have more attacks than company vets. Vets are vets. They have the 3 attacks.
You're a vet.
Yeah. But Thunderhammers still get the job done. They still get the job done, absolutely. So they're super expensive, and the issue isn't that they don't kill what they go up against. It's that they kill that thing, and then your
die.
opponent just kills them.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, great, you paid, whatever, 30 points per model for them. It's actually 35 or something. I don't know how much you're paying for them right now. But it just ends up becoming a really hard trade. But if you can kill something and keep them safe, that's when it works.
Okay, company veteran, 40 points a model with a bolt gun.
Give him 40 points? That doesn't make sense. They should be like 22.
Oh, sorry. They're 24. Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry, they're 20. 4 for the Storm Shield, and then we'll give him a Thunder Hammer. Hey up.
And the Thunder Hammers are 10 on them? Or is it 15
They're
on them?
12 on them.
12, okay.
So it's a 36-point model.
Yeah.
And I don't think they get jump packs. And they have 2 attacks.
2? Mm-hmm. Yeah, don't do that. I'm sorry.
No, that's sort of the same as Finger Bits. 2, 3 for the charge, 4, 5 for Lightning Claws.
Oh, right, because an old Marine only has 1, so a veteran only has 2? Mm-hmm. I thought a veteran was 3.
No.
Wow.
Veteran was 2.
Man, they need more attacks. They need more attacks.
Well, everything in the game needs more attacks to keep up with Drakari and Admech.
That's tough. Paying so many points for just 2 attacks. I guess 3 on the charge, but...
well, and half of the miss because it's Thunder Hammer. You need some sort
of chapter master on it to make it work. Yeah. Okay, cool.
Thank you, Sandy McDonald. Turn 2, Bridger's being almost insufferable.
Almost. Just on the edge.
Almost.
Just on the edge. But no, that's like that's part of the fun of it, is just seeing Custodes like whatever. 4-ups. Not even 4-ups, just like double 6s, triple 6s, quad 5s and 6s. Like, who cares? Like, you know, it was, you know, didn't even flinch.
They don't care.
Yeah.
Unflinching. Yeah, unyielding.
Yeah, that's right.
Thank you again, Daminate. Bridger question. I've been loving the Blight Haulers, this TTTTT. Do you think, what do you think 3 groups of 3 or 3 groups of 2 would be better to go with my Plague Marine Heavy Death Guard list?
What do you think, Bridger? Is that too many points?
That's a lot of points.
They're like 140 each.
Okay, so one of the reasons they're so good is you give them a 4-up invuln and they're not worth shooting.
They're just too tough.
They reach that threshold of durability where it's like, I could commit a lot to kill 1.
Yeah, the -1 damage. They could have -1 to hit on them.
Or -1 shots. -1 number of shots. If you
No,
shoot them with
-1
multi-meltas.
to hit with miasma.
with miasma, yeah.
The -1 shot's almost not even worth it, but yeah.
Well, if they shoot you with like las chickens or something,
yeah.
you're like, cool, I'll just take half of your shots away. That's great.
Yeah.
Or when you shot me with bolters and I was like,
Yeah.
Anyway, 1x3 is great because you stack all the buffs on them and they're invincible. Your opponent won't even try to kill them. 2x3, either one of them is behind a wall doing nothing, or you could like run them out the side or something. But I wouldn't take 3s at that point. I would maybe take like
individuals, because they're actually really hard to move around as a group of 3.
They are.
Yeah.
And even 1 is pretty durable with 9 wounds.
Absolutely
tough 7,
agree.
-1 damage.
Absolutely agree.
So I would maybe do like 3 and then 1 and 1 if you really like Blight Haulers. 3-1-1 is how I would do it.
Yeah, that's as far as I would ever go. 3-1-1.
Yeah.
Absolutely agree.
But 2x3 or 3x3 is unbelievably unwieldy. You'll buff up 1 and they'll just shoot the other 2.
And the truth is, it's not even that much shooting.
It's not.
It's really
They can
not.
whiff.
They will. They don't get. They're unlike normal dreadnoughts. They don't get core, so they don't get the rerolls, which is a shame. They really deserve core. Yes, they're just.
You make
Contemptor
all
dreadnoughts.
demon engines core?
No, I didn't say that. I said this demon engine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you make the flesh mower core? The bloat drum?
Yeah.
So almost the entire army is core.
Yeah, like every other book.
Fair. Fair.
Thank you, Omnissiah Sphinx. I'm thinking of future-proofing my Iron Hands army with buying a repulsor, but I don't know which one to get.
Oh, this is easy. Get the one that has wings and is called a Fire Raptor. Because that's even cooler.
If you want to get a repulsor's Iron Hands, get the Executioner, because that's like very Iron Hands. It's like a gun tank. That's like their thing. That's their thing.
Yes. So repulsors, though, let's say, about future-proofing, that does not, in my opinion, future-proof. Yeah. The repulsor, I own 1 normal repulsor and 2 executioners. And they were cool. They double shot before, and they had lots of DACA, and they got rerolls and all that great stuff. They don't, all the things I just mentioned, they don't have anymore. Yeah, and they're still really pricey. They don't have fly anymore. They don't have the repulsor field. So they just lost. Like it was like 9 things they lost whilst keeping high points. And they're cool models still, but they're not super strong. So I actually almost always value the transport capacity more than I value the DACA, So I actually like the normal repulsor for its transport capacity. You could do some cheeky stuff transporting some really strong units up the board. And it still has plenty of shooting, let's be real. But if you buy the Executioner and you're real clever, you can magnetize it in such a way that you kind of get both.
Yeah.
You do have to be a little clever. It's not like perfectly in the box, but you could make it work. And then you got both. So that's even cooler.
Here's what I would say in terms of future-proofing. Get a Land Raider. They've been bad for so long, they have to eventually be good.
For real talk, the tank that is my backfield damage tank is the Sakaran Punisher. Because Sakaran Punisher is lots of DACA, it's cheap, it's fast, and it's cool.
It is cool.
And if you're really looking for like a center, like big gun, heavy hitter, I'm not joking, it is the Fire Raptor. It's vicious. And the Fire Raptor is like 400 something points. Repulsor is like high 300s.
But in dollar dues, a repulsor kit I think is like $80, and a Fire Raptor is like $150. Oh, we have mail. Do you want to do mail time right now? Impromptu?
Well, let me look at it, and we'll see. Okay. But I'm not joking. The Fire Raptor is probably, I don't know the math right now. It's probably less than 100 points more than the Repulsor Executioner, or maybe it's about 100 points more. And it's going to do as much as 2, 3 Repulsor Executioners. Oh, it's more Titan Watch. More Titan Watch.
We have nothing but cakes.
Oh, I love that place. If you're in the Bay Area and you're looking for a cake that has cream cheese icing on top, which you should be looking for, nothing but cakes.
Nothing
bunt cakes.
But cakes.
Bunt cakes. They are bunt cakes, cream cheese icing.
Well, I'm going to dig in right now.
You're going to have the cream cheese icing all over your face.
Thank you, T. Crayford again. Correction to my above for Bridger. How do you feel about changing out the Telemon for an Achilles? Dropping 1 Venatari for the big squad and adding another squad of 3 Venatari.
More Venatari is not terrible.
No, I dislike both of these for a couple of reasons. For different reasons, actually. The reason I dislike splitting Venatari into 2 squads is they get value out of the strat.
The double shoot.
The double shoot strat is amazing, and they become a to the last at 5, and while that is a pro and a con, seems like it could be a con, because like you want to play aggressively with them, but you can't. You can push them up, shoot. There's 5 of them. If you're careful, you'll lose 3. In almost all my games, I lost 3, kept 2 alive. The one time I failed morale was like...
The exception.
The exception. I lost 3 and then failed morale and then rolled a 1. It was a 6 into a 1.
Would you ever consider even a larger squad?
Then you run into coherency problems.
But they fly, so their coherency is like...
Here's the thing, Brian. 5 of them kills anything in sight. Like, what do I need a 6th for?
Style?
It would be stylish, but like, I think 5 Venatari is the sweet spot.
Right, I think it's the sweet spot.
An extra squad, you can't double shoot both of them.
An extra squad, yeah, you get much less value out of them. But they're still cool.
The Achilles is, in my mind, just a worse Galatis. It doesn't have the 4-up invuln. It's not -1 to hit in combat. It somehow has less attacks than a Galatis.
Yes.
At more damage. If you ever need more than 3 damage,
which you don't,
which you almost never do.
Yeah.
It has a battle cannon. It's like,
it's not enough shots.
Like the Achilles, very underwhelming to me compared to the Galatis. They're like the same points. The Achilles might even be 10 points more, and you're like, bro, the Galatis is better in every way that matters. So those are my answers. Sorry, dude.
Okay, here we go.
Should I do a mail?
Yeah,
mail
let's
time.
do it.
Okay, so we did have a Titan Watch delivery here. It says can be read on stream. To the wonderful TTT team, please accept my apologies for this late addition to the Titan Watch. It's not late. It's precisely on time.
You good?
I was originally due to provide a Redemptor, but there were various issues. So I produced the model inside the small box and worked the issues into his background. Additionally, inside the Wraith box, there was a box with Wraiths, but it was not Wraiths. Are presents for Adrian. They're very old school metal orc models. Very, very cool. Lots of really great bits. And there's more. This is a classic model. Do you know this model? It's a classic Mordecai model. From my childhood. I definitely saved up and bought that guy. They came from my bits box back to 2nd edition. I thought you might enjoy kit bashing and modeling with them. One model might make a cool character for Mel's AOS. Thanks to all of you. And it's from USIT. And it says, P.S. The marine accessories are not glued to the base. Make it easier for basing. Very cool. So let's take a look at this guy. He is one of the new Primaris captains.
The Indominus captain.
The Indominus captain, and he's taken an Necron shield as his shield, which the Titan Watch sometimes do. They take Necron technology quite a bit, actually. And he looks so badass. He's super cool.
Yeah, really nice.
What a great model. What a great addition.
What a hero.
This guy also has his requisition papers.
What's his name, Brian?
Watch Commander Mordelay.
And what chapter is he from?
Let's see.
Is he not from a chapter?
No, this is 2 Watch Commander. His name is Alexandros Curzon. Curzon, Star Trek. Nice. Lieutenant, he's from
Dan.
the Ultramarines chapter.
Lieutenant Dan.
He's from the Ultramarines.
Nice. There you have it. Excellent addition. And a lot of cool metal works, right?
Yes. And this Mordheim model, I think it's a Mordheim model. Yeah, it is.
It says it on there.
So this is a classic Mordheim model character that I've always loved. Yeah, one of my favorites.
It's a cool cloak.
It's very cool.
Now,
Excellent. Well, thank you so much.
in terms of butt cakes,
Yeah.
we have a red velvet, a lemon, and a marble. Do we have any preferences?
How many were in the bag?
3.
Oh, I guess Meg already had one.
I would assume so.
Okay.
Hey, Meg, did you eat a cake?
I had a frappuccino instead.
Okay.
You guys are good.
Frappuccino's kind of like a cake.
Okay.
All right. So how do we want to split this up? Red velvet, marble, and lemon.
I like 2 of them. I like the marble and the red velvet.
Okay.
I like the lemon.
Well, you can have the lemon,
Okay.
and then
So reckless. Just.
I knew it wouldn't make it off the table. And then we can split up.
Can you pass me the watch?
Oh, it's a lieutenant. It's an Indominus.
He's a lieutenant. He's a lieutenant. Yeah, I
Lieutenant
did read
Dan.
that here. That's what I was saying. We'll put him here.
That's
so-
why I said Lieutenant Dan. That's right.
Yeah.
You guys ready for the next question?
I'm ready for the next question.
Okay, the next question. Thank you, Ergon Claw. Hi, Titans. Is this tourney list journey list
Zach,
mean
did you
enough?
put the cake on the glam cam?
Yeah, so people can see what we're about to eat.
The butt cake?
I'm going to pull it away here in a second. Don't worry. I wasn't going to leave it on for the rest of Q&A.
I was really confused.
Okay, let's see. Red Scorpion? What is this? Red Scorpion?
Red Scorpions, yeah, that's
Iron
chapter.
Red Scorpions,
Successors. Okay.
Carib Cullen. Yeah.
Carib Cullen, Smash Chaplain on bike.
Yeah.
MOF. what's
Master of
that?
the Forge,
Master
Tech
of
Marine.
the Forge, Tech Marine. 2 groups of 5 intercessors. 2 groups of 5 incursors. Rites of War. Redemptor Dread. 2 Volkite Relic Contemptor Dreads.
Yeah.
Volkite Derridero. Ooh, that's interesting.
That's a different one.
5 Bladeguard Vets.
Very
3, what's that say?
Intercessor or
Infiltrators.
Infiltrators?
No. This is the intercept. No. What's the ones that jump in and shoot?
Inceptors?
I think that's Inceptors.
Bolt
Okay.
Inceptors? Is that what that said? I'm trying to find us forks.
Karen Arcus.
Cool. That's neat.
With 2 heavy bolters, 2,000 points.
I think it's really cool. I'm into it. It's got lots of DACA. You've actually got lots of holding. You've got some good combat. And all the way through, I think it's a rad army. So I support this decision. Great army. Lots of cool stuff.
I think it seems really cool. I like the Derridero.
Yeah.
I don't like that model,
But you like
Oh,
that
you
it's
mean both
unique.
face?
but I do kind of like. I kind of like it.
You like that
but
it's weird and-
It's weird. Yeah.
I like the Sakaran.
Same.
That's a really cool one, too.
I'm a big fan.
That's the new one,
yeah.
too, yeah.
Thank you, Maxwell Martin. Bridger, your saves up until turn 2 have been magical.
They have been magical.
Well, they didn't get too much less
For the
magical
Emperor.
after turn 2.
If anything, they got better.
Yeah. Would you suggest?
The Iliastus or the Arachnus for the Telemon?
Yeah.
Neither.
Why?
No, suggest one gun, and then tell them why.
Okay. Why? Go Custodes. Please hum all gold everything if Trajan goes hot.
Okay, hold on. I never take these guns.
So Bridger gave an explanation in the last video of why he prefers the double fist over the guns. It's because the guns are surprisingly not enough to get the job done, and the fist actually comes with a decent flamer and an extra attack, right?
Yeah.
So he would say none, but if we
none.
did have to pick one of the 2 guns,
Hold on. I know the Iliastus Accelerator Cannon is 4 shots, strength 7, AP 3, 2 damage.
Yeah.
Which
It's like a weird profile.
isn't really enough to finish off anything.
Right.
You need like 2 of them to ever get anything done, and then you have no fist. So if they fight you, you're in
Yeah, you
trouble.
always want a fist on your Telemon. I think that, like double gun, you can do it, of course. You can backfield, double gun, of course you can do it.
And the Storm Cannon costs more. Storm Cannon's 15 points.
Yeah.
Let's take a look. It is 2 shots, strength 8, AP 4, 3 damage, or 6 shots, strength 7, AP 2, 1 damage. So it's a worse version of the Magna Cannon.
Yeah. It's a pretty expensive chassis.
It's not worth 15 points.
The thing is, if you put the guns on it, you're assuming that you're going to keep it back. And it's such an expensive chassis to not be throwing in your opponent's face. Yeah. The best, when the Telemon's at his best, when your opponent is forced to deal with him. And when he's up there flaming and fighting.
And getting shot.
Yeah, they're forced to deal with him, which is when they're losing efficiency. So he's just better as a frontline guy than a backline guy. Yeah. Unfortunately, he's too expensive a body as a backline guy.
If I had to choose between those guns, the Accelerator is better because it's cheaper.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Tony. Wow, 1,560 people watching the stream as of 4:30 Eastern Time. That's 1:30 our time. Is that a record? Also, any thoughts, Adrian, on those sweet new Kill Team nuns? Who wants to be Adrian? You want to be Adrian?
I love the sweet new Kill Team nuns. Oh my God, they're so cool. And it almost looks like they're starting to achieve almost like a higher level of precision and detail with these sculpts, right?
A little bit.
You can start to see. Start to see that the quality of their manufacturing is even improving. So I'm definitely loving them.
They look like they're going to be interesting, like maybe like a 4-up save or something, somewhere kind of in the middle of like a Sister and Repentia. That's kind of they're describing them.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but it looks amazing. Now, as far as 1560 viewers, I don't know what was the peak this game that we had? Was that?
I don't know.
So 1560, not actually even close to a record. I would say that's our record's somewhere in the 2400.
I thought it was 22.
It was slightly above that. It was 22 to 2400 was a record for us. Actually, I would say like our average Saturday
on a release, we get like 1,600.
Is around that. This is around a typical Saturday, actually, yeah. I like a special Saturday. Whenever we have something going on a Saturday, that's about right.
Thank you, Damn It. Something I forgot to say earlier, I love how Brian manhandles any squad larger than 10 models. Watching him pick up fistfuls of Skitarii and throwing them around in the Admech game was hilarious.
I don't actually do that normally. I only do that with Adrian's models because Adrian does that with his models. And Adrian plays Horde armies historically. Yeah. He plays like orcs and stuff like that. And you know, Adrian, we laugh, is a what we call a Time Lord, which means he likes to take his time playing his games. And when you're playing with 100 models and you like to take your time, it's a vicious combination. And so, like, you'll see Adrian in 8th edition playing his orcs, and he'll be like, these move. And then he'll be like, these jump troops pick up here. And it's like, you know, you have to play fast sometimes in a tournament like that. And you'll see that happening. But funny. I make fun of Adrian all the time. That like he's finished his game and he's scooping up his models and he's basically like into his tray. Yeah. And I'm standing there like, oh my God.
We're not into that.
I'm like, oh my God. So I literally only do it with his models because he's trained me to do it with his models.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Tevin. Bridger, Custodes needs so much help to be good. Full army-wide buffs, they're all so bad. Also, Bridger beats the 3 best armies in the game for the T5.
Yeah, what's up, Bridger? Bridger's always talking about Custodes, worst army, like bad rules. Give me more buffs. -1 damage everywhere.
I love his
permanent transhuman.
Impression. I love Brian's Bridger impression.
If you look at the point efficiency.
Oh, here we go. If you look at the math, I lost all those games. I didn't even win them.
No, Brian. Couple of things. I got lucky. Often. And at the times that mattered.
You didn't get unlucky.
I needed to make 4 9-inch charges
in
my game against John.
And you did make all of them.
And I made every single one of those, and failing any of them, I lose the game.
Yep.
Got pretty lucky, right? So first of all, I got very lucky. Second of all, I had more reps with this list than I think anybody else had with any of their lists.
Maybe barring John.
Period. Oh yeah, John might have more Drukhari reps than I have.
But that's
reps.
particularly bad matchup for them.
It is.
Yeah. But no, you didn't get unlucky. Like, you never had a time where someone easily picked up a Dreadnought when they, like you were on the better side of your rolls almost all the time.
Yeah, and
this army needs that.
Just like outside of the game, if you do like a quantitative analysis of Custodes, our rules are worse than 9th edition rules.
That's true.
Our data sheets are worse than 9th edition data sheets.
Also true.
Our points are really bad, like absurdly out of whack.
And you can use almost anything in the Codex for that reason.
I could not use almost anything in the Codex. The 2 Codex units were Trajan,
who is overpriced like crazy,
costs a lot, and the Bike Captain.
How much is Trajan?
2's fair. The Bike Captain's fair.
Trajan's like 190 points.
Yeah, he's like it's like a hop and a skip to be Morven Val.
And the Bike Captain is how much?
The Bike Captain's
like
fair.
180 points.
No, he's fair. Once you get the Captain Commander, like it's almost like Captain Commander should cost 15 points, and you should go up to 180 with Captain Commander,
right?
And it shouldn't cost command points or whatever,
Captain Commander sounds like a Saturday cartoon.
You take that back.
That sounds about right. I'm with it.
But like, just I did well. Okay, it's one small data point.
No,
just
but
do
also your
analysis.
army is counter meta, and that's why it works. And so you brought a counter meta list into the rest of the tournament that was meta,
right?
And that was it. And then you got lucky in your few chances where it could have gone badly.
And I've also never asked for buffs to any of the broken stuff that I brought today. I don't want the Dreadnoughts buffed. I don't want Venatari buffed.
You just want them not debuffed.
I would like for them to stay the same, but that seems unlikely. But like, I want to be able to play Custodian Guard. Come on, guys. I want Terminators.
And Terminators.
Terminators are my
bikes.
favorite Custodes unit.
Yeah.
I have like 30 Terminators between your collection and my collection, and I never get to use them.
Agreed.
For anything.
Thank you, Orc Zach. Congratulations to Bridger. The Emperor truly protects.
He does.
What a great game, and great to see the sportsmanship of the whole crew. As promised, Custodes' army has been ordered in honor of Bridger's win.
Very nice. That's great.
They were talking in chat, Brian, about you, and they were saying, I can't believe this guy can keep his cool and be so happy with these dice rolls.
Your dice were so
They were so bad.
They were so bad.
Brian kind of famously doesn't really have the ability to get mad.
That's true. I don't actually have that.
But the other thing I always tell people is that we're, and even with you now being Island Brian, we're very lucky because we all get to play a lot here. And I think when you do get to play a lot, those games are just like they're wacky. They're not like, wow, that was my one game a month. That sucks.
Oh yeah, that's bad.
Because you're going to play. Maybe you've played.
Like I said, I played like 12.
Games?
I played like 12 games. I played
yeah.
like 12 games this week.
That helps.
Sure.
Right? But you're also.
It's a game, and I don't. He's not making my rolls bad. Nobody's making them like. Who am I mad at? And also, I'm here to have fun. And when you're getting mad, you're not having fun. Yeah. And if my stuff's all blown up and dying, I can still be having fun. Right. And you can definitely still be having fun.
It's a Michael Bay movie now.
Yeah. And I'm here to see the Custodes against the Death Guard, and my ego's not tied up in one of the army or the other, right? I'm tied up in hanging out with my friends and having a good time. And, if you take it too seriously, and even a tournament, you want to win, but more than anything, you want to have a good weekend.
Right.
You're flying out to go to this thing. Winning's cool, but winning at the expense of having a good time,
right?
And that's not worth it.
And even more than that, it's cool to prove Bridger wrong, and Bridger starts every game telling you you're going to win.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like win-win for everybody.
No, you're right. It's definitely a win.
When Bridger wins, yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely a win.
And thank you, Revanite. Congrats, Bridger. What a game. The Emperor blessed those 4 pluses.
Yeah.
Does this make John Lennon the only person to have beat you with this Custodes list?
At Charity Hammer, right? You had a very tight game.
My only loss, yeah.
And you won several games there that people didn't think the Custodes could win. And it was very tight.
He was my only loss to Charity Hammer. And then every event since then, I have not lost a game. Yeah.
Custodes on quite a streak.
It's a strong list. It's counter meta. It's good against all the things people are playing. I think orcs are going to cause it problems, but it's not an unwinnable game.
Not at all.
I think Thousand Suns are going to cause it problems, but it's not an unwinnable game.
Agreed.
It's a good list.
Agreed.
But buff the rest of Custodes so I can play anything else ever.
Yep.
Yeah. Thank you, Caldorf. Hey, Titans. Just want to thank you all for the great TTTTT. So much fun and surely a lot of work by all the Titans. Great producing, intros, great fun.
Well, thanks.
Thanks, Caldorf.
We're glad you enjoyed it. We certainly enjoyed making it. And we look forward to doing it next year.
Yeah, that definitely. Thank you, Shadow Ops 666. Awesome content. What happens to Venatari when double shoot strat goes in the new codex rumored by the end of the year?
Goes
goes in the strat that goes. Let's say they get it. I think he's,
Are they keeping the double shoot strat or losing it? What is he saying?
They currently have it. Let's say they lose it.
They become half as good immediately. That's the reality of it.
Yeah, they get worse, but they're still playable.
They're playable. They're still the only 12-inch move infantry in the book, so you'll still bring a squad of 3, maybe with the lances.
You'll use them for something else.
Yeah, you might use them with lances.
No, the pistols are still clutch. There's so much weak.
What is the? I don't actually know the profile on the lance because we played it once.
It's not great, and you want the
shield.
shield for the save too, right?
Oh, that's true. Why do they have a 3-up?
Yeah. If they lose the strat, I think that they might need.
Hurts them a lot.
It hurts them a lot, but they still have uses. It's just not as a mainline damage unit, more as a utility unit. Yeah.
What were they thinking when they made these two profiles? Like, they're not remotely comparable.
They make mistakes sometimes.
The lance is the same gun at 12-inch instead of 18.
Yeah.
And it's 1 more AP, 1 more damage, 1 more attack.
In combat. Yeah. And then
they
-1,
lose the 2-up
Then
armor.
they lose the shield, yeah.
Those are not remotely comparable. Like, plus 6-inch range on a unit like that,
It's big.
and exploding 6s, which the lance does not have in shooting.
Yeah. It's big. It's big.
Thank you, Nick. Glad I caught the finals live. Congrats, Bridger. For Age of Sigmar, Seraphon. Start collecting Seraphon box. Star Priest, Pterodon. Laser Bastiladon with the Brian knows
gem.
what this is. About 1,000 points now. What to fill out to 2,000.
Sure.
TTT team awesome as always.
So there's a couple things with Seraphon that you have to decide early on. If you're going to make a big collection, then you just buy everything. It doesn't matter. But if you're making a smallish collection, you kind of need to decide if you're going to play towards the Coalesced or the Starborn, which is basically like, are they real lizards or are they like celestial demons? And you'll kind of tech into some different characters and units a little bit. Because, for instance, if you're going to be Coalesced, you might want to be a bunch of dinosaurs, in which case, let's get Carnosaur, and let's maybe get another Bastiladon or a Stegodon or something like that. Whereas if you're going to be...
See some Croxagores, Brian.
Well, the Croxagores are cool, but they're old models and they don't actually perform, unfortunately. I love the Croxagores because I grew up with them, but I wouldn't...
Salamanders?
The Salamanders are
in there?
Yeah, good in the Coalesced. Now, if you're the Starborn, it's kind of all about this utility and teleporting around, and skinks become really, really powerful. And you definitely want a lot, like something like...
you need like 80 skinks minimum.
I don't know. No. You need like 50.
Oh, because you do like a 30 and 210 man.
Yeah. You could definitely do more, but you don't need more than that. And you could start to bring in things like chameleon skinks and things like that, and you could be the Fangs of Sotek, and that'll get really strong. So choose which way you want to go. The stronger playstyle is the playing for the Starborn with the Fangs of Sotek with all the skinks, and that's cool. The dinosaur way to play is pretty cool though, and a lot of fun. So
yeah,
pick your style there, and then go accordingly.
Definitely, but it's a line that you want to buy the whole line. It's like
I don't disagree, but it's an expensive line
down the overtime,
Yeah.
right? But you're right. Thank you, Jackie Fish. I have been on the edge of my seat the entire tournament. Good games, boys.
Thank you. We have too. It's been tense all the way through. It's been so tense that like Bridger actually like almost collapses after these games of like tension because it's coming down to every dice roll.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Thank you, Magnus did nothing wrong. Congrats, Bridger. Proud of you. Miss Live. Holding true to my word, if you are a member and in chat, DM your details so you can get blasted with some Taco Bell. If you aren't a member, become one and DM your details in Discord.
Is Magnus just sending people Taco Bell?
That's fantastic.
Is that what that means? That's awesome.
Well, go message Magnus. Get blasted.
He'll get you Baja
Listen,
blasted.
you got to celebrate. This is a day of celebration. You got to go get blasted.
For those who might not be as familiar with the channel as, like, it could sound terrible what we're saying, that he's just going to get you blasted.
Yeah, it does sound terrible.
Baja blasted. He's going to send you Baja blast.
Sounds worse.
Whatever they imagined, it's now worse.
It's worse. Yeah, I think so. Thank you. Thanks, Magnus. And thank you, Jack. Hey again, Titans. Great game. After watching those Death Guard Terminators, I'm thinking of starting a collection.
Nice.
Could you recommend a list at 1,000 points for Death Guard with a focus on the Terminators?
Sure. Well, the Death Shroud are much more interesting than the Blight Lords at the moment. And so let's just say at 1,000 points, we can maybe get 2 units of Terminators. Right? They're about how many points each, do you know?
I think like 45 each or
so
something.
yeah, so it's like just over 100 and like it's close to like 150 almost for 3. So we've got 300 points with the 2 Terminators. You could get a Lord of Contagion, who's like another Terminator on foot. So that's great. So we've got like 4 something.
They're 50 each, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So it's 300, and so we've got like 450 now. Do we put in
2 units of Poxwalkers?
2 units of Poxwalkers? So this is a patrol detachment, and then. Do we want a caster? I guess so. Let's put in a caster. So we're at 450, 550, and then we're at like 600. Oh, so we have like 250 more points. So we could go
Plague Witch Crawler.
1 Plague Witch Crawler.
At 1,000 points, that's fun, yeah.
Yeah.
And then you have a little bit of points to spare.
But like maybe there's an upgrade, maybe 1 extra Terminator at max.
Right.
So cool, we did it.
Yeah. There you go.
How
That'd
many
be cool.
Terminators come in a box? 3 or 5?
I think it's 3.
In Death Shroud?
Yes,
Probably
they come in a
3.
box of 3.
Okay. Enjoy, Jack. That'll be fun. Thank you again. Damn it. Take 4,000 points of guard versus this Custody list. It'd be epic, and Custody would probably still win. But if at least give the guard, it would at least give the guard a fighting chance.
So here's what I'll do.
2 to 1.
I'll take like 40 heavy weapons teams with las cannons.
Okay.
Just sit them up on the top of a building
Okay.
and just shoot at you.
Huh. And then the next turn,
And that's 100 points. of my
Venatari
army.
split shot, split fire, and they kill every single one of your squads.
No, hold on. I didn't tell you.
Okay.
I didn't tell you about the like 7 full payload manticores
Okay.
that kill all the Venatari turn 1.
Oh, that would be bad.
Because strength 10,
Yeah, it's perfect.
3 damage.
Maybe 2 though, so I'll get 3 up cover.
I know. That's why I said 7. Each one kills just less than 1.
Kills 1 guy.
Yeah. It's about right.
We would need to break a lot of rules to make that a game.
Here's Max, and thank you, Max. He's talking a little bit about our core rule conversation. He says, hi there, allowing shooting into open-topped transports with maybe -1 to hit
Oh, neat.
could be a nice core rule. And by the way, your -1 to hit and your target's -1 to hit, so should cap at -2, not -1.
Shooting into an open top transport. That's not crazy.
Or at least they get like a cover, like they count as being
Yeah,
a
so
cover.
maybe
You
it's
remember
a-
in Fantasy when you had a mount
And then you
a
could target the
rider?
guy, and then the mount went crazy.
Well, but there was like you would shoot if you didn't choose what you were shooting, you like rolled to see which you hit,
Yeah.
and it was like 1 or 2 you hit the
I do
the
remember
rider,
that.
3, 4, 5,
I
6 you
remember
hit the
having
mount.
an Emperor Dragon with a dude on top, and somebody like cannonball one-shots my elf, and my Emperor Dragon just goes crazy because he rolls like double 1s and flies off the board. And it's
Yeah.
like, cool, this is cool.
Game's over.
This is fun. I'm having
Yeah,
fun.
this is my 900.
I'm 10 years old. I'm having
Yeah,
a great
this is
time.
my 900-point dragon in my 2,000-point list.
Love that. Thanks for getting that for me for Christmas.
I think that would be cool if you like shot a transport and there was just a chance that each shot could hit the people inside.
I actually think you're onto something. This is a cool idea.
It's like 4 up, hit the.
They should have a
transport.
better save. They should get a cover save, as you said.
yeah.
That'd be
Cool. It's neat.
I'm into it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Run. How do I always say-
Reune?
Reune. I always say this, and Bridger laughs no matter how I pronounce it. Oh no, Bridger! What have you done? Oh no, no, no.
This is probably when you were rolling all 6s, when you only needed 4
I
ups.
went really hot.
Yeah.
You didn't even need to roll 6s. You're just rolling 6s just to style.
Sometimes you can read the message and tell when it happened.
Yeah.
This
Yeah,
one
yeah.
could have happened.
It could have been turn 1.
Could be at any point.
Could
in the
have
could've
game.
been
been
turn 5.
Bridger. It could have been a
Yeah.
good thing he was doing. Could have been a bad thing he was doing. We don't
Yeah,
even know.
this pretty much describes Bridger's life.
Yeah. Thank you, Longshot. Still my first 6 months of playing and love to watch you guys. My favorite armies are Harlequins and Necrons.
Cool armies.
What do you think Harlequins need to bump up to the top tier? Grats, Bridger. You really showed that other Bridger.
That's
You
right.
showed other
I showed
Bridger
you.
2.
Yeah. What do you think? What makes Harlequins?
What do you think the Harlequins need?
A 9th edition codex?
No, okay, so let's say in a 9th edition codex, like, Harlequins are kind of like Drukhari, right? So how do they become more, how do they take it
distinguish
further?
themselves
How do they
from
take it
Drukhari?
further? So let's say a witch
Whoa,
and
let's
a
not
troop.
take it further than Drukhari. Drukhari's already a high bar.
No, but there's a few disadvantages. So like a witch and a troop shouldn't be that far off. The troop has a few advantages though. The troop has the flip belts, which is a cool advantage, and the troop has the fallback shoot and charge, which is a cool advantage. So maybe it's not quite as good as
And a 4-up inbound all the time.
And a 4-up inbound all the time, yeah. So it should just fight a little worse than a witch, right? Which is not far off where it is now.
Aren't they fighting identically right now? Depending on which weapon you take on the troop? Don't they both have 5 attacks?
Yeah, it's a very different point cost though, right? Right?
Oh, yeah.
Like a
The numbers,
witch. A witch is
of
like an
squad,
8
yeah.
8 points or
You're
something.
you're paying for the 4-up involve and fallback shoot and charge and the option of taking a fusion pistol for Harlequins.
Yeah, and that you're paying for things that don't matter. Like 4-up involve's cute, but when you have like 5 troops, they're all dead to just bolters anyways. Right. So it's like, what did that really matter? It can be cool on a big squad, but it's not quite enough, right? So they should be a little cheaper.
Or, hear me out.
Yeah.
Thematically, anyway, I think they should be 2 wounds.
Why?
Because these are like very. It's like a big deal to be
Zach, where are you
a single Harlequin.
Where are you getting
right?
this from?
No.
Yes, it is.
Is
Like,
it?
No,
not
they're like legendary fighters,
Right.
but they're not known for getting hit really hard and
This
surviving.
is not what we've talked about this on the channel.
No,
so
the
many
2
times.
wounds are representing.
Wounds represent like just you're good at
How about
you're
this?
hanging
1
in
wound
there.
minus 1 damage.
No, I think I want to see the 2 wounds. I want to see them like level like at an X arc is that.
Yeah. Well, you could.
And I already think that
How about you give him a Fiono pen then,
aspect
or
warrior
something
should
like
be
that?
2 wounds.
Yeah, that one I'm with you. Because
So
aspect warriors,
a troop is at least is
Okay, fine.
prestigious.
troops are like-
2 wounds now, though. Now we really do need to watch their points, though.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I like don't.
So you want them to be more elite?
I want them. Yes, of course. Like that. That's
would they
a
be the
great
first
way.
T3 2-win model?
Like
Yeah,
present.
they
a
would be the
lot in
first
Army.
T3 2-win model.
Not the first model, but like
like a squad,
Regular,
like a
yeah,
squad, like a
squad,
squad.
yeah.
I don't know if that's true, but it's certainly there isn't many.
I can't think of a single one.
But there should be more of those because of what
They don't.
it's
Yeah.
interesting and what it
T3
represents.
2 up. Well, they're like I guess
T3
the
2
Court of
wounds.
Archon is like 3 wounds.
They're 4 wins.
No, they're 3 wounds, but they have a feel no pain. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're dumb. Court of the Archon's dumb.
But okay, I think that could help. I think they need to. The bikes. I don't know. Everything's close with the Harlequins. It's just a little off. You know what I mean? They need
think-
more throwaway stuff.
They need to actually distinguish themselves from Drukhari. Because the problem is design space. Right now, they're just slightly less efficient, so it never matters. Like, you'll just always take the one that does the thing better. If they
Because
do
the
the same
witches are
thing,
cheaper. They still advance and charge. They
Right.
have as many attacks. With Power from Pain, they're hitting on 2s instead of 3s.
they fall back and charge when they need to for 1 CP.
Yeah, they go through units when they need to. Their transports are better because they hold 10 instead of 5.
And they have a Dark Lance.
And they spike their AP on 6s.
A little more psychic would help distinguish them, I guess.
Their psychic is good, but it's not
Just like a little more.
yeah. The army's not far off from being interesting, honestly.
It just needs to
it's just not quite efficient enough.
diverge from Drukhari. They can't continue to do the same thing, or else whichever one's better, that's the only one that gets played.
Yeah. You're right.
Yeah, we're talking to you, John. All right, thank you, Tabletop Infiltrator. Evening, guys. I started my own channel several months ago, and if you had a single piece of advice, what would it be for someone starting out?
Ooh, I have
We have a lot of advice.
2. I have 2 pieces of advice.
What do you got?
Advice number 1, have a thing that you clearly want to be great at. That like is easy to articulate, right? Don't just do a bit of everything. Don't just, do a battle port for the hell of it, Try to have an angle that I'm going to be the best at this. And truly try to be the best at it. So that's number 1. Without that, honestly, I don't see, there's just no path to victory without ever being really great at one thing. And number 2 is persistence. YouTube rewards people who just stick with it.
Yep.
You might not find much success instantly, maybe you will, but you might not find much success instantly. It's about sticking with it week in, week out for years. And then you build an audience, and then you have a chance, that audience can have a chance to exponentially increase. So it's those two things. Be really great at one thing and stick with it. And that's the secret to most things in life.
Most things in
life.
life.
Certainly YouTube. Yeah.
I would say hand in hand with persistence, make sure it's something you enjoy doing.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you won't continue to do it. When it becomes a job, when it becomes a grind, you have to find a way to make it fun or keep it interesting.
Right.
Otherwise, you'll stop doing it, and then you will fail, because that's the only guaranteed way to fail is to stop doing it.
Yeah. True. The inverse of what you're saying is also true. It's like you fail if you keep doing it and hate every minute of it.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
That's another way to fail. Yeah.
Right. That is a fail too. And what Bridger's saying can't be understated. You need to structure it so that you're enjoying it. Because let's imagine you need to do this for 2 years with virtually no viewers, no revenue, no nothing. The only thing that's going to get you through it is if you're loving every minute of it. If you're hating every minute of it, you're never gonna do it. So yeah, that's all good advice.
Thank you, Monty. Excellent tournament. I follow up with an old question. Think we might ever see new Kill Team here? I know there were some concerns about list building, especially Space Marines, but my local group has been loving it.
I know a time that I want us to do Kill Team. It's next month.
Okay. Yeah. So the answer to the question is yeah. We have new Kill Team. We are people who like Kill Team. We think that the version of Kill Team they've made now is not a perfect, amazing game, but that doesn't mean we can't set up really cool, fun games with it.
Right.
Absolutely, you can, and we will. It's not a game we're going to play regularly. We're going to play it about as much as we play any specialist game, which is one-offs here and there. If we have a ton of fun with it, it's an easy game for us to pick up and play. We have 40K models, we have 40K terrain, and we could start doing it every so often. But we're definitely going to give it a go.
There you go.
Thank you, someone in Czech. With hopefully the Custodes Codex coming out later this year, what would you want Wardens to do to be more standout?
Great question.
See you at LVTT. Hope to meet you all.
That's next weekend.
Someone check. Find me.
Yeah.
At the LVTT, because you sent models to so many people to help with Titan Watch, and that means a lot to me.
Yeah, we'll definitely get you back.
I'll get you something. So find me.
What do we want the Wardens? So the Wardens today, they're basically Custodian Guard. They're elite choices, which is always a problem. They have Watchers axes, or not Watchers, whatever the.
They're Custodian Guard with a 6-up Feel No Pain, one more attack, and
axes.
They can take an axe.
Which is the special thing, right?
And they're like anti-psychic. Like the 4-up deny is a 3-up for them.
Yeah. So okay, let's take their anti-psychic further, right?
Okay.
And the strat is good. Right now it's short range though, isn't it? I think.
That's if they're targeted.
Yeah. So I want the 3-up deny from them as a strat.
Okay.
The sisters have it. The sisters already have that strat. So a little more of that. I think a 5-up Feel No Pain, not a 6-up. 6-up's not enough.
Okay.
Because there are very few models. You know what I mean? And I think that the Watcher's Axe plus the extra attacks already enough with what I've just said.
I mean, if we just
they're pointed right.
If we just made the Watcher's Axe actually do something.
The Watcher's Axe should be strength 8. Hold on. Bear with me. Strength 8.
Okay.
-2 for 3. And it would be bananas good.
No, it wouldn't.
It would be bananas.
No, it wouldn't.
It would be a Thunderhammer with no minus to hit on a unit with a boatload of attacks hitting on 2s.
On like 70-point models with 3 attacks.
70 points is too much, though.
Are we pointing Custodian Guard at 40? Like, what are we doing here?
It's a new codex.
I'm saying that they should be in the 60s.
It needs to be strength 10. Why is it not strength 10?
No.
They're just afraid to give Custodes strength 10.
That's
what it is.
I'm okay with the strength 10, but now they are 70-somethings.
Yeah, great.
Okay, fine. We did it.
They're like the elite of the elite of the elite. Like, get them in there, strength 10, and Terminators
So Terminators...
Are there like 90 point... It's where they are now. It's like 90 points
Yeah,
a
and the
model.
Terminator should be an upgrade both in the number of wounds, but also, in my opinion, in the number of attacks.
Yeah.
And
It'd be cool if the grenade launcher did anything.
Yeah, and their grenade launcher should be a little... And they should have some banana strats, which they already do. But they should continue to have banana strats. Golden banana strats.
Crypt Shadow chat. Strict 12? You got it, Crypt Shadow, just for you. In my fake
So it's a
Custodes
times
Codex.
2 plus 2.
Yeah.
I'm into it, just to see it written. You know what I mean?
Thank you, Michael Cody. He says, have a week so good that you're happier than Taco Bell getting free sponsorship into a market that, let's be honest, is a perfect target for them.
Our demographics and Taco Bell's demographics probably
We've
align
had
very
Taco Bell
well.
ads appear in front of our
sure,
videos.
all the time.
Yeah.
Sure.
So Taco Bell already
We
knows.
gotta talk to Taco Bell. We
Listen.
gotta get out there, talk to their PR team,
We gotta
get
do
that
it.
sponsorship.
Listen, somebody out there must know someone at Taco Bell.
It's only been like 2 years of us talking about this.
Yeah.
2 years of you talking about it. All right, thank you, Edward Burke.
All right, Zach, you don't get any of the sponsorship money just for
Well-
that.
Can we turn if you lose, like old Nickelodeon where they
gack
slime
you?
you?
Yeah.
Yeah, we could just blast someone.
Get blasted.
Yeah.
And it's not like just water for the stage. It's real.
No,
No, it's real Baja
They're all
Blast.
sticky
It's
for
like
the
an
rest of-
actual vat of Baja Blast. It ruins the whole studio every time.
Yeah, there's ants everywhere. Thank you, Edward. Well, now I absolutely have to buy a Gladys or 3 after I paint my pile of plastic golden boys. Now tell me to go paint my plastic boys.
Go paint your
Go
plastic
paint
boys.
them. It's
yeah.
actually a forgiving army to paint.
Yeah.
You could get it on the table pretty
Yeah.
quick. Just make it happen.
Yeah. And thank you, John. Thoughts on this 2K Scions list?
Ooh.
Okay, the Lambda Lions, 1 Prime, Keys, Refractor.
Yeah, they're special
rod,
abilities.
yep.
Yep.
2 Prime with the Rod.
Yep.
6 groups of 10 Scions with Vox. 3 with Melta. 3 with Plasma.
Okay.
3 Scion
Command squads, yeah.
squads with Melta. 1, what is this? HSLG is LG, HS. What is this? What's HSLG?
Oh, jeez. I don't know.
4 Crusader,
Yep.
1 Tech Priest, 1
Commissar.
5 Primes,
5 DACA Prime.
DACA Primes,
Yeah.
and 1 Missile
Yeah.
Prime. What is
So
HS?
the 5 DACA primes are obviously super strong. We don't know what the HSLG is.
If someone in chat knows what that is.
So that one I don't know. And the 4 Crusaders, are those like the Crusader unit?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a unit of 4 Crusaders.
With the guys with the shields.
Yeah.
The 1 Tech Priest, yeah, makes sense.
Hotshot Lasgun.
Oh.
1. Oh, I see. So.
Oh, yeah, that's the 3 signs, 2 Melta, 1
Yeah,
shot last.
yeah,
Okay.
okay.
We thought it was a unit, but it's a gun. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes a lot more sense.
I mean, it looks good. One of the problems you're going to have is just nothing is throwaway for you.
Well,
So-
everything is in a way throwaway.
No.
In that everything
no,
will
those
die.
signs
These are
so
two
Everything will
wildly
die
different viewpoints.
To a breeze, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Oh, I see.
But like turn 1, you got to throw a unit away. Or let's say,
Turn 1, you're going to throw 2 of your units away.
and let's say they're hiding though, so you don't get to shoot, and you just throw away two of your 10-mans
Yeah.
with hotshot las. Like
Yep.
that's feel bad.
So you make little 5-man hotshot last squads? That's like
Yeah,
very cheap.
yeah. You they're out of troops slots, but you need to have something throwaway, some cheapo throwaway stuff. Early game, pick up points.
So do you make some of these 10-man squads?
You could, or you
5-man squads
could
and-
try to get. You could just have a scout sentinel or something, like whatever you want to do. Something to
Yes.
throw on a point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, turns 2 and 3, you're going to struggle with trading because one of the things Scions face is not maximum reliability. They hit on 3s with like Meltas and Plasma,
They have
which
the rerolls,
could
but-
go hot
Yeah.
or it could not. So you end up often committing 2 units to kill 1 unit because if you don't,
Yeah.
you don't necessarily kill that
anything.
unit.
Yeah, yeah.
And so if you're 2 for 1ing yourself very often as Scions, and they just die when they're out there. They're just
Yeah, the
pick 'em up.
5 DACA primes, a lot of DACA though. I've been seeing people take the DACA primes along with a tank commander or 2 as well, just to make the shooting super good. More like backfield shooting really good. You might want to consider that too. That's super strong. But yeah, anyways, my main advice, just a couple little things to trade early game. And it's a great list.
Thank you, Maul Deeps. In a tournament setting with an all-comers list, who's the toughest matchup for Custodes? I'm thinking something like Grey Knights with all the mortals. What don't you want to see, Brandon?
Mortals are rough for you.
Grey Knights are actually fine. And I'll tell you why. I have 2 units of Sisters of Silence that actually do work against Grey Knights because they buy me a turn or 2. And that army is so elite that I will get through them in 2 turns.
That you like run up and you chop them up and they're in trouble.
They just get minced. And there's no getting around that. They kind of just die to Custodes. Thousand Sons are a lot scarier because they do the same thing with more mortal wounds, more reliably, with better screens. That's a much harder matchup. That's one of my most feared matchups as Custodes.
But your answer is your sisters buy you some time.
Yeah.
Your 5-up Feel No Pain strat to Mortal Wounds buys you a chance to spike.
Yep.
And then, but you do need to get in there quickly and start.
I'm on the clock.
Yeah.
But as we saw when I played Death Guard, Thousand Sons do die to multi-damage weapons. If you come at them with 3-4 damage combat, they'll go away.
Yeah.
So they're on a clock as well.
And those Terminators are not, they're strength 5. They go down to 1 damage. They're not really going to be chipping much from you.
Right.
Yeah.
So like we're kind of racing each other in that matchup. And
You
it's
have
just
a game though.
How quickly can I crack to get to the characters?
Yeah.
And if the Venatari go hot, I can clear the whole screen, whatever you're screening your characters with, and then just get straight into the meat of the characters and win the game on the spot. That's how you kill Thousand Sons, is you kill their characters.
If someone was bringing one of the kind of classic sisters armies that has the lots of meltas, and they're just like melting you and using miracle dice to max their damage, could they go really hot and take a bunch of dreadnoughts away real easy? Because on paper, they really should be able to.
And I'll tell you why. Every time they put a Retributor squad out, it dies. And if they have to trade...
What's your long range? You have no long range shooting.
Sagittarian. They die super easy. I played this game against London.
No, I
Every
know.
time Retributors go out, they die. Because they need line of sight, which means they have to get... They're not really that long range, 24, which means Venatari can shoot them from anywhere. And Sagittarium can shoot them from anywhere.
So here's
and
what I'm
I
arguing.
could probably get in range to flame.
Like the Dreadnoughts are up front, the Sagittarium or the Venatari are behind. Yeah, I don't know. It's like they might be able to pick something, but you're saying you don't care about this.
Right, so they'll trade 2 squads of Retributors for 1 Dreadnought.
Why was this that was the one game, as we said, the only one game you've lost with it. What was it about that game that was tough?
It's because he didn't have what you're describing. So you're describing the
trying to
old
shoot.
style, right?
Yeah.
You're describing the old style of like a bunch of multi-meltas and some big squads of
Repentia.
right? Like you can build a Hammer Sister list, but the Hammer Sister list doesn't win because it bounces and then you lose. What he won with was just Obsec that's really fast, and he just keeps stealing my objectives.
Yeah.
And he's trading 2 for 1, but he has enough.
He has enough units to do it.
His punch isn't the thing that's trading 2 for 1. Like the Retributors do trade 2 for 1, but if you charge intelligently, and he did a lot of things to make it so that his 2 for 1s actually became 1 for 1, and then I'm in real trouble. Like when you pair Celestine and Repentia together, often you won't lose either.
Yeah, sure.
And when you pair Morvenval with anything, but often Sacrosanct together, you'll probably lose neither. So it's like that's the list I think that's probably best against me is like a real Sisters list.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, really strong.
Thank you, Brandon Paul. Hello. Does Methodical Firepower strat from Iron Hands work on a Faucian in a super heavy detachment? What buffs can you put on a Iron Hands Faucian?
I'm so glad you asked because I've put a lot of thought into this. Yes, the strat does work. You are Iron Hands in that detachment. Methodical Firepower requires you to shoot everything at the same target, with which a falchion can be overkill. So you might not always find the use for that strat. But hey, if they got a falchion on the other side and you got a falchion on your side, you're going to get them with your Methodical Firepower. The buffs, though, are prodigious. Of course, you can have a Librarian to give it a 5-up invulnerable save. I don't remember if Falchion has ion shields. I don't think it does. But anyways, you give it a 5-up invulnerable save. That's cool. You use a Tech Marine to give it +1 to hit. That's cool. You use a 1 CP strat to put it in the Devastator Doctrine, which allows it to have +1 AP on all of its weapons, but maybe even better, it allows it to reroll all ones to hit.
Yeah.
That's pretty great. And so now you're talking about Falchion hitting on 2s, rerolling 1s, +1 AP all the time, 5-up invuln, and then it has a 6-up Feel No Pain, and then you put the Ironstone next to it for -1 damage on it, and the thing falls back and shoots, so it's invincible, right?
Yeah.
It's just not, there's nothing someone's bringing in a 2,000-point game that could almost ever kill it under any circumstances. And if they try, they've lost just by trying. And the amount of firepower it puts out is vicious. So the way that they win against it is very predictable. They hide. They put something cheap like a spawn on the point, and the whole army's hiding, and now your Falchion can methodical firepower a spawn. And it can just do that every turn, and you'll very rarely have a target. So that's the thing you got to watch out for, is whether you can actually draw a bead on the thing you want to kill. So you're actually going to want to drive it up the board, crash into the terrain, and like start charging with it, because it actually fights okay. So anyways, pretty cool. Go do it. I do the same thing with a Fire Raptor, because I don't own a Falchion, because I'm just not as cool as you. I really wish I had a Falchion.
You also just love Fire Raptors.
I love the Falchion more. I love the...
Why don't we own a Falchion then, right?
I love the Falchion and the... What's it called? Legion Fellblade?
Yep.
The Legion Fellblade, I really love.
Do you love the Astraeus?
I love it less than the Fellblade. Because the Fellblade is just like a goofy, upsized tank. It's like, what if you took a Predator and just like grabbed the side scale, and it's like, and it's like, cool. It's like, doesn't even make sense. It's just straight scaled up in all dimensions.
Thank you, Shiv Paul, again. Pretty sure the Taco Bell Corp HQ is still in Irvine, California. You should stop by on your way to SoCal.
That's right. In the worst case scenario, we still get Taco Bell.
If we just stop by, like, what do they, like, we go to the reception desk and we're like, hey, we want to talk to your marketing department. What do you say?
They'll be like, it's Saturday.
Sir,
it's like,
this is a Taco Bell.
This is a Taco Bell? And you're like, oh yeah, sorry, 3 Taco Supreme. Close enough.
Thank you, damn it. Thank you guys for this wonderful weekend and the great games. It's been such a Baja blast. Gonna miss Brian once he leaves us again so much. How much longer is he gonna stick around for? Love you all. Thanks, damn it.
I actually fly out
4
in about
hours or
5 hours back to the island. But fear not, I'll be back in 3 weeks very soon. So I'll be back in 3 weeks, staying for about another week.
Yeah.
And then I'll be back later in the fall.
The island dice will return, bro.
Yeah, it's probably going to just get worse and worse. I'm going to have to start practicing. That's the problem. I'm not rolling enough
Revenge
dice
of the island dice.
And but I'm going to be I'm traveling to a few tournaments with the crew. We've got the team tournament, which Team Titans is rolling out in Vegas next week. And of course we have SoCal and No Retreat Legends, and so lots of cool events that I'll see some of you at hopefully. So, and as I said, I'll be back in like 3 weeks. So was that the last question?
That's it. We did it.
Wow, we made it. This is the end. The end of the TTTT.
TTT.
That's it. It's all the T's. I'm going to start taking ideas for how to get one more T into it next year.
Toronto.
No, but I don't want to go to Toronto and do it. So it's a Tabletop Titans Tournament 3, but I need one more T. It needs to grow by 1 T every year.
Throwdown.
The Tabletop Titans Tournament Throwdown 3? Tournament 3 Throwdown? The Tabletop Titans Throwdown Tournament?
Well, you're putting it out early enough.
Listen,
someone.
We got a year to work on this.
Someone in the community.
Chat, you gotta let me know, because I gotta start working on this for next year.
Someone in the community has got this.
Well, thank you as always. I hope you enjoyed the tournament as much as we did. The third. Yeah, you did it. Okay, that was fast.
The third. Wow.
So you did it. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed it. We had so much fun. I was so excited to be back playing with you all, having so many great games. But we've got so many exciting things to look forward to. We've got the debut of the Titan Watch coming right around the corner. We, of course, have debut of a brand new Eldar board that's being worked on by Hobby Titans for the last couple months.
Yep.
October, I'm going to tell you, is going to have so many cool and special things. We're planning October to be probably our coolest month that we've had to date. So many cool things to look forward to. So this is just the beginning.
Only to be beaten probably by November.
November has cool things. Right now, October.
It's pretty
It's hard to
chock-full.
beat.
It's pretty slam jam.
It's slammed with some cool special stuff. So lots of cool stuff to look forward to. So if you haven't already, this is a perfect time to join and subscribe or become a premium member or join the Discord. So much cool stuff going on in this community. And thank you as always. And
We do have one more.
one more thing. Okay, one more
chat.
question came in.
Well,
You
it just
squeaked in.
says Tabletop Titans Tournament Take 3.
That's a good one
take
too.
3.
That's a good one too.
Thank you, Edward.
Well, thank you so much, and we'll catch you next time on the tabletop.
Bye.